Hi there, this is Jim the Keys bartender coming to you from Key Largo for episode, what is it, 2010?
2000. We're back at the 2000s
2010, again. No, 2009.
2000.
No, I'm thinking, no, I mean 9, 10.
200. Are we at our episode 200?
I'm going to have to check. I'm going to check. No, 210. I did 209 today. I think I did a show
you keep
earlier.
Jump into the 2000s, though.
I do. It's kind of funny if it wasn't so sad. I don't know. I'm in the future.
Yes.
I'm future boy. And you can be tomorrow woman. You know that? If I'm future boy.
Well, there we go.
Yeah. Let's look at this. Damn. Oh, but.
I think I would be tomorrow girl.
What a drag it is getting old. Do. That's one of the things. The old gray mule. That's what we call it. But
the old gray mule.
I'm off on Wednesday night. I just found out. Cool. I'm off tomorrow night. So I just found that out. Thank you. Let me see. New shows not published. Let's see. Make sure I got it right. It'll show up. Chronicles. It's 209. 209. Old fucking gray mule. We're not going to say old gray mule would say instead of old fucking gray mule. You were just mentioning it before we started the show. I always think we'd work from inspiration, not perspiration. And I've been working doubles the last week or so because we had a couple big events at work. I came in early, so I worked one 14-hour day, one 13-hour day.
What were the big events?
And
there was a memorial.
The memorial service.
Yep.
So I came in. So that was 10 hours. 10 hours. It was 10 hours. I teach, and the day I did it, was that Saturday or Sunday? Was that Sunday or Saturday?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm trying to think when it was. But if it was Sunday, I work in the morning. And Monday is even harder because I teach my fitness class. And I feel it. I used to think that I needed a lot of fucking caffeine in order to get through the day. And caffeine just got me all excited and stuff like that. It didn't really help me with the energy. The energy comes with it.
Doesn't it make it worse when you crash, like when you come down?
Yeah. I've been taking, actually, drinking some of this stuff called kava tea. And it's supposed to be a stress reliever. And it actually lets me work smartly.
That's good. Like focused tea.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, kind of. Not focused, actually. I kind of like screw up. No, not smarter. Not much smarter. No, I screwed up. A lot this week. The easy ones. I mean, people come in and go, you got to make sure this. I mean, maybe you ask for too many fucking different things. That's your problem.
Right.
When people say, I got to check this. I want this on the side. I want this.
And I don't want this. And
I apologize, yeah. It's a fucking tough life when you're a perfectionist. I'm not necessarily perfectionist, as you can tell by the podcast sometimes. By the sound quality comes out there. I apologize. And I did do a little research this week. I sat down. I did resets on all my dials, trying to figure it out. I'm kind of like one of those guys that have to, if there was a post-apocalyptic world, I'd have to find the technology and figure out, well, if the dials turn this way and do this, I don't know what's fucking going on. I don't know what it's doing.
He's talking about his soundboard, by the way.
Yeah, my soundboard. I started figuring out, I can't even see it. There's a master mix. There's the main button, and the main button turns up the volume. So if you want to pump up the volume, dance. No. So I have all these buttons. I did mention another podcast. It was on a short one I did on Keys Bartender Extras, that there's about 40 dials and 15 to 18 buttons on here. And Christ, 24 plugs. And I know there's a lot more. I know there's people with a lot more than that. And then I saw someone post one. They had all USB shit. But you know what the problem with USB? I just figured this out. There's a lot of interference that occurs when you use USB.
Really?
Yeah. There's a lot. I mean, in a hospital environment where you have a lot of different equipment, you have MRIs and EKGs and all different shit going on. There's all this electromagnetic energy going around, especially in imaging. You know, if you have an imaging thing near you, they're sending. It's like being next to a pulsar or a quasar.
Isn't most imaging magnetic resonance imaging?
Some is sonogram, which is not going to affect you as much, but there's a lot of electrical equipment.
Right.
And I mean, imagine they shouldn't be interfering with Bluetooth because it's different wavelength, but I don't know. I started out as an electrical engineer. I lasted maybe 2 months in college, and they decided, this isn't fucking for me. And it's political science and history. That was it. Which, hey, you know what?
You know, you're a really good history nerd, though. Like,
I am
you're
a good history
really
nerd.
good history nerd. So you got to give yourself that credit.
I do, but it's not as well. I think we're finding now, especially when it comes to quantum physics and things like that, string theory, that the science isn't so exact, and that they're not exactly sure what is the right theory and what's working. So when originally Einstein had these ideas, and then Hawkins, and you have all these other guys, and not all their theories agree with each other, and they break down in the quantum world or in the larger world, subatomic and shit like that. Well, no, subatomic is quantum. I guess that is.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, where the fuck were we starting out? I was talking about my fucking soundboard.
Well, this is because the old gray mare just ain't what she used to be.
Yeah, I used to know that I used to be able to put together little crystal radio shit. I had a little computer set where I built circuits and things like that, rudimentary circuits that would hit certain lights, do true and false light ups and shit like that. And that's pretty much the binary language of
Keep talking.
computers.
I have to put the dog in the house because I have an employee stopping by to drop off paperwork. So
and that dog's going to freak out, right? Oh, you're afraid that oh my God. Is it, I hope, is Hoagie racist? Hoagie doesn't have a problem with, oh, good. You know what? Hoagie is such a sweet dog. Every time I come here to Jenna's house, Hoagie greets me at the gate and escorts me all the way in. It barks a little, but I imagine it's Hoagie saying hello.
Well, he's pretty used to you.
No, but he's saying hello. He comes over, barks a couple times, and I say, hi, Hoagie. And then Hoagie walks alongside me as I walk back there. And there was a couple times I got here early, and Hoagie's inside. And
you can just let him out.
I didn't want to say that.
Well, you have the key, though.
Yes.
That's why you can let him out.
Okay.
I have a lockbox, which you have the code for because...
Okay, I didn't want to say that. So, yeah, and Hoagie's perfectly fine. Very excited to see me. Comes in. Sometimes we'll lay down next to the show, but if we get kind of excited, Hoagie will kind of pick up. It's infectious. So Hoagie will...
Yeah. Well, this particular employee that's stopping by, Hoagie has never met. It's one of my newer employees.
Is he Mexican?
No, I believe his name is Frankie. Maybe we can get Frankie on the air.
Francisco?
I believe his name is...
I'm just kidding. I wasn't going to try. I should apologize. I did not want to call a Hoagie a racist dog because Hoagie does love everyone. He loves everyone of every different persuasion, every different...
But if he's never met you before, he's going to bark at you.
Well, I think it's more of a greeting with Hoagie.
And
first time I met Hoagie, he barked at me. But once he started smelling you and stuff like that, you're pretty cool with him.
He wouldn't let the realtor in last week.
Well, you know what?
He would not let her in the house. And
maybe
she has
Hoagie,
the key too for the lockbox.
Maybe
Mogi.
Maybe Hoagie has a extra sense and sees the inner side. I'm not suggesting that your realtor is an evil person, But I would check to see if they have extra properties around. They may have some people chained in there.
Maybe she owns like a bunch of
dungeons
or like the what do you call those things? The containers, and she has people chained in them.
Yeah, didn't have that a couple times. Yeah. Luckily, we didn't have it down here.
I was teasing my mom about when she was on vacation. She was driving all over the place and meeting all these new people.
Isn't your mom? Your mom's in the neck of the woods where that stuff's famous for.
Well, I mean, my mom's in Minneapolis.
I mean, they do pretty bad stuff down here. We had the guy on bath salts eat another guy's face in Miami.
Yeah, Minneapolis that's where you got. Doesn't really have a lot of that. But
no. Well, in Minneapolis and Wisconsin, all that stuff.
Wisconsin's got some creepers.
No, in Minnesota and stuff like that, you'll have people, but they plan better. They'll make their clothing out of human skin. They'll make the lampshades and all that stuff.
Wisconsin.
They'll do
That's Ed Gein.
Ed Gein.
Gein. Ed Gein.
Gein or Gein?
I think it's Gein.
We discussed this before. I defer to you. I defer to you, Princess of the Midwest.
I believe it's Ed Gein. Yes. And Jeffrey Dahmer was also Wisconsin, and he would cut out PBs.
Did you see
in his freezer? So.
Did you see the movie My Friend Dahmer?
I have not.
Pretty good.
Seen it.
Pretty good movie the way it was made. And we're not one of those shows, and I apologize if you're one of those shows. We'll reference them because we are people, and we do have our pastimes we have to do. Mine is working out. And this is the thing I was very proud about today.
Okay.
I had yesterday was Martini Monday. It was an interesting day.
Yeah.
I had one of my favorite patrons, Kathy, texts me, and she goes and says, listen, I don't think I paid my bill. And she said that last night, too. I said, your bill's paid, your friend paid your food bill, you paid and then you overtipped me. And then she sent me a text today on Facebook, hey, I got to apologize, I didn't pay my bill. I said, you paid your bill, you overtipped me, we had a great time. And she goes, oh, we had a great time. I said,
was it like Kathy that I know?
No.
No?
Not the owner.
No, not the owner, but Kat and Colleen.
No, not Kat and Colleen. I love those guys too. It's Kat and Jack.
Okay. I know who you're talking about.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Kathy Ramsey.
Yeah.
And she called up. It's Martini Monday. God, Jesus Christ. You do 3 of those suckers. That's it. $5 martinis. You're
right.
looped.
You might as well get your Uber in hell.
I don't want to do 4. There's a group of people that come from the Ocean Reef thing. Oh, this
Frankie. Frankie's here.
Frankie didn't go to Hollywood?
Frankie did not go to Hollywood.
Yeah. Frankie,
come here, Frankie. Come and say hi.
Frankie, relax.
You know
that thing Frankie says, relax?
The Keys Bartender
you never saw the
Comedy Podcast. Say hello.
Hey.
Hello, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing, Frank? What do you do at Riva?
I'm the delivery driver. Anything else you told me to do?
Yeah, get that mic a little close. Man, pretend it's your friend. You're all right. Don't worry. You don't have to change your beard. I like your beard, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, you could rock that beard better. You got a friendly Osama bin Laden look about you. No, I mean, it's friendly.
Yeah, I do.
I feel comfortable.
I'm a very friendly person.
And can you come in here and you're very relaxed and stuff. Yeah. And you're very outgoing. Holy crap, I guess it's a delivery driver because you're meeting everyone, right?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah? Where do you travel up from? Where do you go?
I go everywhere.
Do you go to Key West? Do you go all the way up to
Lauderdale, everywhere.
Palm Beach?
Palm Beach. I've done Palm Beach runs, yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
When you like delivering boats and all that stuff?
I love it.
You love doing boats?
I love doing this job. This is my favorite job.
I mean, that's a different job. Sometimes you got to tow a jet ski. Yeah. Sometimes you're towing a big-ass boat.
But I don't see it as work because I'm doing what I love.
Oh, you know what? That's the way it is. Yeah. You do what you love. You never work a day of your life, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah? You mean, what's the best day? What's your best day so far?
When they say go take the trade-ins for a test ride.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you just go and take them out?
Take them out. Why not?
Yeah? You ever have any? No. Yeah.
No issues, thank God.
No issues? Never had any issues?
No.
Just take them out? You didn't break down and have to signal for anybody to come and get you?
Down, no.
Yeah? Oh, great. You jet skis and all that stuff? You have to change up, I guess, stuff. Yeah?
I'm learning boats now, so.
Oh, really? Well, how'd you start? Where'd you have a background in before you started doing this stuff?
Before, I used to work a security guard for 3 years.
So you learned to drive the trucks with the trailers in?
I've always done that because I worked 7 years at Miami International Airport.
Okay.
So I kind of already have.
Because that's a skill.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just jump. I mean, I've seen assholes. Well, you go to Caribbean Club on Saturday afternoon and stuff like that. You can see people that don't know how to drive, drive up to the ramp with a boat. Yeah. So you're a pro.
Yeah, pretty much.
Are you one of those guys that kind of like do it by touch? You know, I mean, I know you're supposed to go the opposite direction when you're trying to turn it around. You know, but it's not intuitive. And you still can't do it? I can't do it. You can do it. Obviously, you can do it. I'm making that stuff.
There's nothing I can't do.
Oh, man. I'm impressed. I'm highly impressed. You are an exceptional individual.
Frankie replaced my son, Mikey, as our lead delivery driver at Riva. So Mikey was our go-to. He's the one that hauled all the stuff. And now Frankie's doing all that cool stuff.
Are you done work yet?
But Mikey...
Are you still at work?
He's still at work?
Oh, okay.
He's still at work right now. Yeah. Well, no, he can clock out and he can have a beer.
Oh.
But Mikey was a little bit more familiar with the boats. So we could send him to go, pick up the boats, drop the truck and trailer off at the neighborhood ramp, go to the person's house, get their boat in the water, which, we're going to teach Frankie how to do a little bit more of that soon so that he can be like super self-sufficient.
Yeah.
And then he's going to start hauling the big stuff. And the Fort Lauderdale boat show's coming up. So
I hear that.
There's a lot of boats that we have to haul.
Do you ever see a weekend at Bernie's?
Yes.
When the guys get in the boat?
With the dead guy?
Yeah. I have the same exact expertise in boating as those guys do. I mean, even though because
you don't boat.
I spent 6 weeks on a sailboat, and I was the navigator, and actually sometimes I had watch for 4 hours. It's amazing how much you can forget I'm 56, Frank, and it's been, 36 years. It's like I was in another, if you're expecting, in another life, I was a ship captain. But there's nothing left. There's no skills left from that time because I've done so many things. But I mean, I've never reached expertise. I don't boat, don't fish.
Right.
Yeah.
We had an episode called Don't Boat, Don't Fish. I'm like, why do you live here? Because he doesn't.
Yeah, I have to, you know what? I have to do a little research on that, how to boat. You want a beer?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, Frank. So Frank, how old are you?
Me, I'm 34.
Yeah. You grew up down here?
I grew up,
down here, in the South Florida?
Yeah, South Florida.
That's what I meant. Man, I'm not a regional thing. And if you grew up someplace else, I mean, I have my bestest of friends are from Mexico and different countries and stuff like that. I never judge people.
Yeah, Cuban parents.
The way I view it and stuff like that, we're all Americans because America goes from the Tierra del Fuego all the way down to the tip of Argentina, all the way up to Canada. So if you're going to say you're American, I go like this. We're all in the Western Hemisphere, so we're all American. Now, if you're going to call yourself, that's great. Well, that's great. Oh, man, down here in South Florida? Oh, yeah, Frank, you're fluent in Spanish?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's Jim. Jim, yeah.
Jim.
Yeah. Jim. Shim. Shim. I shimmy really well. Shimmy's a dance move, Frank. And that's because I'm an older guy, I can say that. Actually, I have a friend, friend Howard, who does concrete. Do you know Howard?
No.
You don't live down here? You live up in Homestead, or where you?
Right.
Okay, Howard. Howard lives down here. He happens to be an older African-American man. And I told him, I asked Howard, you know Howard, Jenna, that I said, and Howard loves me. I love Howard. And I asked Howard, I said, would you typify me as a person, the classic jive turkey? And he says, yes. He goes, yes, my friend, you are a jive turkey. But, it used to be used as a negative, but I use it as a thing because I talk bullshit. When someone's a bullshitter. I mean, when it's serious, man, if you come and you have a problem, something like that, I'm fucking all there. I mean, you're choking, something like that, I'm there doing an Heimlich maneuver. You doing anything like that? Other time, I'm just having a good time, man. And it's bullshitting. And that's what the show's all about. Yeah. And you sound like you're a pretty good bullshitter. You came in, you just came in relaxed and stuff like that. It's a language, I mean, everyone speaks all around the world and stuff like that. I'm from Philadelphia originally. You're South Florida. That's what we do down here. That's part of the Keys Bartender Show. Yeah, I know. I'm I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm going boom, boom,
This
boom,
is called
boom.
The Florida Keys Bartender, and we are a comedy podcast. And of course, I'm like the Robin Givens to his Howard
Oh, wow.
Stern.
Robin Givens. You're thinking Howard. You're thinking of Howard, of Mike Tyson.
Oh, I'm sorry, Robin.
Robin Givens was
God,
married to
that's right. What's her last
Mike
name?
Tyson. Oh, you're not going to fuck
Oh, my
around
God.
with her,
You mean Mike
motherfucker.
Tyson?
You're not going to say this thing about my 2008.
Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson?
I'm going to destroy
what is
you.
Robin?
I'm
What's
going to
Robin's last
devastate
name?
you.
What's Robin's?
Robin Quivers.
Quiver.
You know
Robin
what?
Quivers.
I stopped listening to him since I did the podcast because I didn't want to be derivative. And I'm not derivative. I admire the guy. I admire the guy the way he is. I don't have that. If maybe I do have a flight of ego. Because supposedly if you have a superiority complex, right? If you act superior, that means you're inferior. You ever hear this one? And if you act, if you
your
act
wife is telling you
inferior,
right
you have
now.
a superior complex. Because you always think, I'm better than this, and stuff like this, but I'm the worst, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I think I'm
in
kind of
trouble because your phone's ringing and it's your wife right
oh,
now.
shit. Okay.
I sent a picture of
Okay.
Frankie holding the microphone on the podcast. I sent it to Jose Mir, who is my salesperson.
All right, Frankie comes to Key
Right now.
Largo.
So, and he's just like laughing my ass off.
Frankie goes to Key Largo. We'll just call Frankie goes to Key Largo.
Frankie goes to Key Largo.
We're going to change the name of the episode.
There we go.
Okay. Hey, let's take a break. Let me tell you what happened. We're going to go a little longer today anyway.
Okay.
Today, I told you recently, I went to Poland for 2 weeks and my family went for a month.
Yeah.
And when my 12 and a half year or soon to be 13-year-old daughter, came back, she decided she was a pescatarian, eating only vegetables and seafood and it's as soon as she landed in Miami. I know. And now I'm eating a lot less. And today we were doing spaghetti and meatballs, but I said, man, I still got to go back to regular spaghetti.
You know what though? She did have like a family intervention and tried to sit you guys down and talk to you about eating healthy.
Yeah. And and so I have the vegetable pasta. It's supposed to be made with vegetables. I don't know. And that's what it says on the box. It has a picture of vegetables and stuff like that. Fuck, it could be made from dead baby seals. I don't know. And fuck, but I made it and I saw this bag and it said meatless balls.
Meatless balls?
Meatballs.
What was in the balls?
Protein substitutes.
Okay.
Beans and all that stuff.
And
I know, but I made the gravy, as Italians would like to hear it. They say gravy instead of sauce. And I made a little pot for her and made a big pot for Abby and I. They had a volleyball game. I had it all ready. I ate my sting. I had the pasta ready and stuff like that. I have the garlic bread in the fridge. They could pop it in the oven. So I made dinner for them and stuff like that. I'm a late life dad. I didn't become a dad until I was 49. No, 51. Because my girlfriend Abby was married and she got divorced and she had a little girl. And about 5 years ago, her father passed away. The little girl's father, Abby's ex-husband. And so I didn't have any other children. So it's a blessing, man. I would say, and you're 26, right? 34? Oh, you look 26, man. The comment. Hey, it's a blessing, right? You have any kids?
Yeah, 5-year-old son.
You have a 5-year-old son? Yeah. Oh, man. What's his name?
Liam.
Liam? Like Liam Neeson?
Yeah, like Liam Neeson.
Is he going to be a badass like him?
I hope so.
Oh. You know what? He's a good guy and he's a badass. So, you know what? That's a good blend. You want him to be. You have that feel about you, man. You're a good guy. You're kind. And you could be a badass.
Yeah.
I mean, no one walks around with a beard like that if you're not a badass. Yeah. Hey, look at me. I'm an old white guy, man. But I used to travel all this shit. Well, we didn't take any breaks yet. Oh, my God. Hey, Frank, you just put me at ease, man. I just took a break. Well, this is Jim the Keys Bartender. We're going to take a break. Just to do a reminder what I do. If you are listening, please subscribe. Remember to come to the Catch Restaurant and Bar in Key Largo and have a drink with me sometime if you're listening. And remember to subscribe. That'll help our listings. We'll be right back.
If you want to get your information about the Florida Keys straight from the locals who live here and the ones who love it here, we've got you covered. Visit 43keys.com as your source for everything Florida Keys. Sign up for our newsletter and you'll always be up to date on all the Keysy stuff that's going on down here. Go to 43keys.com. That's the number 4, the number 3, keys.com, and sign up today.
Hey, this is Jim the Keys bartender. We're back. We're
Jim's
here with,
done with his pee break. You know, that happens a lot when you're 56.
the great thing about it, sometimes I'm wearing Depends. I didn't have to get up.
Oh, that's what that smell
Sweet.
was.
I just did it. I had to. Excuse me. May I go to the bathroom? And they go,
What was the name of that movie?
thank you. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
I knew you would know that.
Yeah. Well, it was one of my favorite ones.
Was that Steve Martin?
Steve Martin
Yeah.
and Michael Caine. And Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. And when he had a fork with a cork on it.
That's
and
right.
and an eye patch.
in the eye.
And the girl asked, why does he have a fork? He's eating applesauce with a fork and a cork on the end. She goes, why does he have a cork on his fork? And you just see Steve Martin goes, poking himself in the eye with it. So the cork kept him from poking his eye out. But you can tell why he has the eye patch on the other one.
That's obviously true.
So, Frankie, you're married, right?
Yes, sir.
What's your wife's name?
Natasha.
Tell me about her.
Very nice lady. She's Canadian.
Oh, Canadian.
She's Canadian.
Oh, man, they are very polite.
Very, very nice.
Okay.
Did she say eh?
No, wait. We're going to build this up. We're going to do the thing where you go, how long have you been married?
I've been married with her. Well, we've been together since I'm her high school sweetheart.
Oh, really? So that's
Married for like 7 years, but we've been together for longer.
16 years, 17 years?
Pretty much.
Oh, that's awesome, man. You love her dearly, don't you? Well, buddy, it sounds like you have true love right there. You're in the clear, man. You got life made. Yeah. And you got a great son, Liam. I just thought about that. I just thought it because,
little guy too.
yeah, I bet he is. He's badass. Okay. I'll describe the picture. I'll just say he's a handsome young lad.
I really hope that he doesn't have that beard yet, though. I mean, not at 5, anyway.
Is he ready? Is he ready to join the Taliban?
Oh my goodness! Oh wow! Look at her.
Show it
She's
from me.
pretty.
Show me from 2.5 feet away. Oh, she is lovely.
Look at how cute that little guy is.
Oh man, nice.
Aw.
I always think the people that look the most different make the nicest kids. The more different they are, the more beautiful kids are.
Yeah, I believe you.
It just,
Yeah.
I think that's what.
Maybe that's why my
That's
kids are
why
so
creation is all about. When you get together, you get two different things, you put them together and stuff like that. And not that we're two different; we're all about the same on the inside.
I mean, we are from different places. She's from over here.
Doesn't make any difference.
So,
Doesn't make any difference. Your spirit's the same. You know what I mean? Obviously, you're going to love someone. You're going to love them because of what's on the inside, not exactly what you see on the outside.
See, maybe that's
Especially
why
when you say
my
17
kids are
years.
so handsome because I'm like a midget with blonde curly hair, right? And then their dad is 6'4" and Greek.
We went over this before, Jenna.
Right.
People don't like to be called midgets. They like to be called
I'm
little
a little person.
Little person.
Actually, I'm not quite.
And you are a midget is the proportional one, and dwarfism is with the short arms and
right,
short legs.
but I am 4'11", so technically I'm not a little person.
How much?
3 inches. 3 inches.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! At 4'8", you become a little person.
Yes. In fact, it was really funny because my oldest son, which I'm showing Frankie a picture right now, my oldest son, Ryan, is 6'2", and he picks things up and puts them down. He's very muscular.
Yeah.
He likes to go out.
I mean,
to the gym.
little people pick things up and put them down too.
When he was 15
Believe it or
years
not.
old and he had his driver's permit,
Yeah.
he teased me about it because he drove me home in the truck right afterwards.
Oh, he
could
told you
actually
about
drive.
you being.
And he was like, Mom,
If you were
I
smaller.
actually think that you need to sit in the back because
You need a car seat.
Yeah, he was like, well, if you were 3 inches shorter, you would actually have to sit in a car seat.
Do they little people have to sit in car seats?
Well, I mean, if you're not of a certain height and weight, then technically yes. But when you have your own driver's license, like, what are they going to say? You know? But and then it's really funny because I had a 1997 F-150, like a Ford truck that was brand new in 97. And there was an Asian girl that was about my same height and weight. And of course, back then I was like 90 pounds. So she was killed because her airbag went off and hit her in the neck.
Oh,
her neck.
Snapped her neck?
So then they made this shut-off option for all of the vehicles that had just come out with this, the driver's side airbag.
Oh, she was probably leaning forward.
And I had to, you have to lean forward when your arms are short. You can't reach your steering wheel. I have the same problem with my husband's truck.
You can't bring the seat forward?
I can, absolutely, but your legs are short. And especially if you have to drive a manual, you have to sit even closer because you got to get the clutch to the floor. So, I mean, it's like rubbing on boobs in order for me to drive
I'm practically in the back
truck.
fucking seat when I'm driving some of those cars.
But my husband, actually, when I drove back from Sarasota last week in the big Dodge, the big diesel, my husband even remembered to hit the button before I left to move the pedals forward. Yep, and it comes up closer so then I don't have to sit as close so that I can actually reach the pedals. But it's when this girl passed away.
You have to wear a booster seat?
No, I know, right? I should. Well, now the seats move way up. Now it's fancy. That truck, there's a position, like my husband's position is number 1 in the truck.
He gave you a setting.
Yeah, and I just hit number 2, and then it just goes.
I just realized with that, that's the reason why I like smaller cars sometimes, because they can get up into the roof when the sun gets low.
Yeah,
I got up, you know what I mean?
My visors.
I sit up as high as possible, and the top of the roof, the sun's there.
But my visor doesn't help me at all because
there's obviously there's a half hour there, 20 minutes if you're driving in that direction, where the sun's going to be in your face no matter what. But if I sit up high enough, I can cut the sun out. All you need to see is like a couple feet off the ground.
So I had taken that Ford truck into the dealership, and they actually put in a shutoff. Because if you're under that height and weight and you can prove you're the owner of that vehicle, they put in a shutoff for your airbag so that it wouldn't go off. Mm-hmm. And I had to have that done to my truck. And then if I sold it to anybody else, all they had to do is stick a key in it. He stuck the truck key in there and turned it back to on.
We've come a long way. There was a Ralph Nader, and people say shit about Ralph Nader all the time. He was a consumer advocate back in the 60s. And he had a book, a study done. It's called Unsafe at Any Speed. And it was about seatbelts and safety glass and all. I think he was the one that instituted the safety glass. Well, safety glass came before seatbelts. But
with the shatter? With the shatterproof
Yeah, the shatterproof glass. But it used to be when the glass broke in old cars.
You were like shards.
That's it. Yeah. It was fucking, just a window or a glass bottle being thrown in your face. Yeah. You might as well have that. And then the cars, they had these bench seats. And you didn't have to wear your seatbelts. They were all lap belts and stuff like that. No one really put their seatbelts on. Mm-hmm. And you had you ever been in an old station wagon? Yeah. With the rears?
With the long seats?
Well,
the
with
rear-facing
rear-facing.
Yes.
In the very back of a station wagon, you used to have a rear-facing fold-up seat that looked through the back window. So if someone slammed in to the car, you'd launch your kids, whatever kids you had, would be on the hood of the fucking car behind them.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only conclusion it would be. Because they did have seatbelts, but people weren't mandatory to wear them. Kids didn't wear them. They were climbing all over the place. I remember my brother used to climb on the back of the console of the Volkswagen, the back,
up on the deck. The little deck on the back.
The deck on the back.
Before you get to the trunk.
My brother was about 5 inches smaller than me.
It's like the same spot where old ladies
5 inches, 5.5 inches smaller. But when he was smaller when he was young, he'd climb and lay up there, and I'm like, holy shit! Nowadays, you think, man, you wouldn't even want your dog up there,
Right.
Yeah, you'd want them strapped in.
My brother had a friend named Steve Malenzi, and he drove a Cadillac, and I had to ride up there on the way to school because it was so full that they made me lay in the back thing.
There is a strategy or gaming theory. I think I call it gaming, Gaming, that it's just like football. In football, they used to have leather helmets. And leather helmets didn't provide that much protection to your head. But then again, guys with leather helmets did not launch themselves head first into the guy.
Because they knew.
The leather helmets were for incidental impact.
Right. Not intentional.
Intentional thing. Right. And then when they provided more protection to the brain pan and all that stuff with the helmet, it became oh, I got this extra fucking whack. It's like when you put shin pads or arm guards on and stuff like that.
Then you're gonna
hit someone with that and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Or with spiked gloves or anything like that. That's what you're doing. So that's why people were able to play rugby, Gaelic football, soccer without all that shit. So the more protection you give some people with the cleats, and they got the shin guards. Got shin guards because of the cleats. And the people sliding in with the cleats.
Yeah, well, that's probably because they took out somebody's friggin' artery in their leg. And
I know, but they didn't have the cleats. They didn't have those kind of cleats before either. So that's the same thing with the airbags, anything. So people driving. There was a video by Aerosmith. You ever hear the song "Living on the Edge"? You know that song.
Yeah.
Living on the Edge. Yep. Johnny Depp was in it, and it's some guy from Terminator, the kid that was in Terminator 2. He's in it, and they're doing this thing, Living on the Edge and stuff like that. And Johnny Depp's a teacher, and it's this pretty woman, but it turns out it's Johnny Depp dressing up as a woman. But the kid at the final scene is they steal a sports car, and they crash it into a wall. You just see him driving straight towards a wall. And it's 20-something years ago, and the kid realizes he's going to have a bag deploy. So he smashes the car against the wall, and the airbag deploys. Well, fuck, man. 10 years earlier you did that, the steering wheel would be in your chest, and you have a crushed chest cavity, and your heart would have been imploded. So that's fucking idea with that. The safety issues and stuff like that. And I guess that's going to be with the, we were talking earlier today, we were talking about electric cars. With Tesla, you got self-driving vehicles. And they're just every fucking week, you see pictures of people sleeping at the wheel. Any other time, 10 years ago,
oh my God,
someone sleeping at the wheel, the next thing you're going to see is an overturned car. Nope. Not anymore. This fucking guy's still sleeping. That's what they do on a regular basis. Fall fucking asleep at the wheel. You ever drive? You ever have that thing? Well, don't admit. You know what? First of all, Frank, don't admit this. I'm not going to ask that. I'll only tell you what I did. I used to work, when I was in college, I worked during some of my vacations. I worked 100-hour weeks to make money in catering. I was in catering. I would make like $1,200, $1,400. Back in the early 80s, that was great money. And it paid for all my food service money and all my books. Actually, I had my books paid for by the Navy. But it paid for my food service, and it paid for my board in college. And one time I was going over a bypass of I-95, and I fell asleep for like 200 yards. No. And I've nodded off a couple times, but that 200 yards was the scariest. And it reminds me today. I could have killed, I don't know how many people I would have killed. Well, actually, I mentioned this car before, a 1980 AMC Levi Edition Hornet.
Because he was cool.
So if I was in a car that size, I would have killed that person. But if it was any bigger car, it probably would have caused some damage. But other than that, maybe not kill anybody. But that was horrible.
Scary.
Yeah, that was scary. So the theory is the more protection you provide, the more risk people expose themselves.
Oh, of course. It's a false sense of security.
Mm-hmm. Just like if you're at a strip bar with your wife. She's like, don't worry. When you go there and stuff like that. And so, this girl's grinding up on you. Don't believe it's all right, man, just because you invited in you.
I mean, I haven't had any issues.
I know. Well, yeah, you don't want to go in there and think that, she asked me on there, I can go and get a dance.
I think he's pretty solid.
I actually go to the strip club with my wife.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
I was going to say, he's been with her forever.
Yeah.
Like pretty much your entire adult
Does
life.
she buy you lap dances?
Yeah.
Really?
Because you know what? She knows she's getting the result of that when she gets home. That's why.
Right?
She's like, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Fire him up.
But
See, I'm not going to get you in trouble. I'm not going to.
Going to a club these days.
I'm not.
Club, have some drinks, there's music, and ladies dancing.
Oh, there you go.
See, if I was not going to be protective of you, I would ask a follow-up question. But I'm not going to ask that follow-up question.
for it.
Do you ever go to a strip club without your wife?
No, never.
Okay. Is that the truth? Okay. See, I wouldn't.
As he's hooked up to the
No, that's the thing. If you did that,
machine right now.
I'm a human polygraph. I'm like Robert De Niro, and I was what was that movie? Meet the Fuckers or
Meet the Fackers.
yeah, or what was the original movie?
Oh God, that was
Meet the Parents.
Meet the Parents.
Meet the Parents. No, I can't tell if someone's lying. And I trust you. I trust you like that.
Frankie's
I have
good
to go.
shit.
I actually this Thursday I'm going down to Key West to do a show with the guy that owns a bourbon distillery, and then I'm going to Irish Kevin's. And there are a lot of exotic dancers down there. And I have several exotic dancers who are listeners to the show. They are. What was that? What was that movement? They're like this shaming out. It's like la-ti fucking da.
Well, you know, the Keys aren't known for the quality.
You know,
of their
Stern
exotic
still gets those young girls. Stern still gets those young girls, and he's older than me.
Right.
And I'm better looking than he is.
Well,
I'm how fucking better.
But then again, I'm Robin Givens instead of
Givens.
Quivers.
Okay, I'm Mike Tyson.
You're Mike Tyson.
I'm Mike Tyson. I'm going to devastate
Why
you
do
with
I
my
feel
power.
so abused right now?
So,
Not that there's anything wrong with that or anything good about that.
Robin Givens was very hot.
Yes, well, and she was also horribly abused, so I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
But
That's you should
Sorry.
make light of that.
Sorry.
Shit, there
It
we
was
go.
being funny. Comedy show.
Me
but-
too.
but
Me
some
too,
people are
movement. Here I am
so
about protecting women.
serious.
I'm going to make light of it. Okay.
Okay.
Who knows?
There-
Okay.
Whatever. I said my piece.
So we're going down. We're going to do our shows from Irish Kevin's, and
You are going down.
Yeah, I'm setting it.
Yes,
I'm setting
yeah.
the table. I'm
Yes.
setting the table. I guess
So Jim's going to have to.
I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to do the interview on do it. And luckily, we had, see, there's the freewheeling thing we did when Frankie came in here. We talked to Frankie.
Perfect.
I had Keith earlier today.
Nice.
I did the interview of a guy that grew up in the Keys.
Ah.
Get the feeling on that. And we're going to go down there. We're going to talk about the groove down in Key West. I'll start out in the tasting room of Key West Smuggler's Bourbon Whiskey. And then we're going to go to, well, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be released until after the fact. But if you want to refer to our first Key West, no, actually, it'll be right after this show.
It should be right after this show.
Right after the show will be
It should be released.
our
right
Key
after.
West shows.
Yep.
Our 2 Key West shows should come out.
It might be 2011.
And you'll see me a fish
saying
out of water, a bartender out of his element.
Yeah.
And you see,
In other people's bars. How
can I
weird is that?
can I be as confident and bold as I normally am? I don't know. I'll try.
It all depends on you.
I give it up to the universe. This is what I do. I always think like, man, it's a benevolent force out there, and it wants you to do well. If you have the best intentions, it's going to give you the best results. You just put it out there. You let go of the expectations and just do it. And probably this Thursday, I'll probably stay down there. Wake up at 7. 7 o'clock's probably enough.
7.
Drive back 7. And
Well, it's only 2.5 hours. I mean, Frankie goes back down, up and down there.
what do you
all
think in the
time.
morning? If I leave in the morning, I'll be back in 2.5 hours. Yeah. Even with the pee breaks because I'm an old guy.
Well, just wear those things.
Oh shit! Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for your
Oh,
support.
look at
I
this.
like
He's
that.
a
That was very
natural.
good.
He's a natural.
Yep. Oh,
We
I
might
thought
have
you
to
said
keep him.
asshole. I said no, he's not an asshole. That was good.
A natural, not
Okay.
asshole. I said natural.
I like it.
Yeah, I do
I'm
too.
all about it.
He's witty.
No, I stop. I stop before I have to pee. I'll get off and walk over. I mean, it's imagine you
Just
could
don't
get
be one
fined.
of those guys
You
that like
you
pees
could
in
get
the
fined.
bottle and throws it out the window. Don't be one of those guys.
Oh no! I
mean, I'd
pee in a
rather have
bottle.
you just-
I pee in a bottle and then hold it and wait until I got to a gas station and throw it out.
He keeps it. He's like Howard Hughes. He's got a collection.
Wait, what I do is I
This
pee.
is my urine
I
from the
pee
trip
in
I
it.
went to
I pee in
Philly.
it. I wrap a cloth around it, and then light the cloth on fire and go Molotov cocktail and throw it, and then people jump away. And
And
the piss bomb blew up.
Yeah, then it doesn't really do anything but put out your own fire, I'm sure, at that point.
Oh, yeah. It should do that. And I hope it does.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that, man. That's throwing piss. What am I? A monkey?
Possibly.
A monkey. I mean, a simian.
Right. Like, yeah.
Yeah, like
Right.
Yeah.
Like the actual genus and species.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think they do it just like prisoners do, man. Because when they're frustrated, you're going to throw your shit. The only weapon you have.
You know,
So it doesn't make them.
my husband is, he was out of town for a week, right?
And he said, he came back and now he's going to Bahamas.
He left this morning at 7 a.m. and they're on a fishing trip going to the Bahamas.
Are they going on a fishing trip or are they delivering supplies?
Well, you know, who knows what he actually told me versus what they're doing. But with all the fishing poles I see, I'm actually starting to believe him. Because, you know, of course, the Bahamas is the northern Bahamas were the ones that were pretty much messed up, the Abacos and Grand Bahama. But they're in Bimini now, and they're just getting there. And their ETA was 2 o'clock this afternoon. And they're just now getting to port. But he sent some really cool pictures. And with all these fishing poles that I can see in the pictures, like that's pretty awesome, right? I'll send them to Jim, and then he can post them. But they took the Hatteras out there, which is a big, big boat. And earlier today, they were going about 11 knots. And so now they left here at 7 a.m., pushed out of shipwreck.
11 knots. They should have been there. They should have been, what time?
They came in.
7 a.m.?
He left here at 7 a.m. I think they pushed off about an hour later, hour and a half later.
Should have been there by 2 o'clock.
And they should have been there by 2 o'clock, but they went real slow, going only 11 knots.
You said 11 knots, yeah.
And then came up from the south, and then they went yellowtailing.
Oh, well,
on the
that
way
doesn't
up.
matter what you got. Yeah,
So
you could have.
He just sent me a picture of this little teeny house right on the shore of Bimini. And mind you, this went cell phone silence. As soon as they hit the Florida Straits, there's nothing. Everything died. There's no cell service. There's no nothing until you get close enough to Bimini to where the cell signal pops back in and you can actually text and everything else. And he kept sending me texts. He was like, text me back. Tell me this is you. Because they get screwed up, too. If you use 3G, you had to use 3G for a while, I guess. So now they're finally almost to port, but it's been dang near 12 hours on their fishing trip on the way over there. So it's pretty cool. It's really awesome. But again, people in the Bahamas, don't forget, right? It was only the northernmost islands.
The rest of Bahamas are open. Atlantis and all that stuff.
90% of their industry is tourism. It's only those 2 big islands that were affected, and everyone else is paying the price because people are terrified to go to the Bahamas.
Yeah, I know. And they're expecting the Keys to get a big boost from that.
Right. But please keep going.
You know what? What's going to do? It's
survive.
going to drive up prices down here, and then you're going to get some great deals in the Bahamas.
You are. You really are.
You're going to get some really great deals in the Bahamas.
They're going to be very gracious that you're there to help.
Yes,
industry.
And they're in need.
So please go visit them. Spend your money on the flights. They're really cheap right now.
Because it's better in the Bahamas.
And
that was her.
Get a hotel and go out to their local little restaurants because there's how many islands in the Bahamas? 32?
83.
83.
I just made that up.
Yeah, you're full of shit.
Thank you.
He's just making it up.
There's 832 islands in Bahama.
832 islands. Well, only 2 of them were messed up. So please go to the other
275 are uninhabited. 21 are totally inundated with capuchin monkeys. And if you know capuchin monkeys, they're motherfuckers.
He's crazy.
I know. I just made it up.
Yeah. See, he's just making more shit up.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, so we're probably a little.
And it's one island. There's one island made up of
pigs.
Well,
and that was.
You can call them pigs, or you can call them
Pig Island,
or you call it old white meth addicts that try to blow you all the time.
So is that like a truck stop in the Bahamas?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Toothless meth addicts. No. You know what? The Bahamas are great whenever you have to go. They're
beautiful water.
Yeah.
Amazing
go and
fishing.
pick a place. Make sure it's reputable, and you're going to be treated great.
Absolutely.
Have a great time.
And right now you'll get some really great deals because they really need it, and that's how you can help them the best.
Yeah. And this is what we're doing to support them. But you can always come here to Key Largo and stuff like that if you really can't do that. If you're really that frightened, come down here. Come to the catch. Come down here. Go by Riva. buy some boating equipment.
You know what? I'll sell you the boat that you can drive to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Get a life vest.
And I'll
While you're
deliver
there.
it to your house.
And Frankie will bring it
yeah.
over.
And Frank will deliver to your house.
Exactly.
Yeah. Allah Akbar. You know what that means? Salim Malikum. Malikum Salam.
Like, hi, how you doing?
No,
Yeah,
it's like
not
peace
Arabic.
to you. It's like peace to you.
God is great.
Well, yes, Allah
God is
part,
great.
but I'm not going to say that part.
It looks good, man.
You know,
but everyone has. All the fishing captains down here.
he's
All
giving
the
you
fucking
crap.
fishing captains down here. All the fucking right-wing fishing captains down here look like the fucking Taliban.
Stop it. You know I'm Lebanese and Syrian, by the way.
Oh, well, there's tons of them. There's tons of them. They're Christians. They're Maronite.
You know, our
they're
old delivery
Maronite.
driver.
There's Sufi. There's a lot of Sufi. There's a lot of the dervish and all that stuff. I know.
Our old
Lebanon is a multicultural society. You know that?
So,
you didn't know that.
I did know that.
No. You didn't know that I knew that.
Okay, possibly not. Although I will
And they
say
had a very vibrant
that-
Jewish community too.
previous to Frankie being the delivery driver was my son Mikey, and previous to him was a driver who called me Osama bin Mama because both of my twin sons, actually all three of my sons, worked there for an entire summer because when Ryan would come home for the
Did he
summer,
mean it jokingly or was he being an
no,
asshole? about it?
it was super funny because I was such an ass to my children. And that's why they're well-behaved young men, but they would get on the radio and say something and they would say, no problem. And I would correct them. My pleasure. I'm like, always be professional. Keep them professional.
I know.
So-
it's almost 20 years. You
So-
figure you make a joke about it. You make a joke about the Civil War, and people go like this. That's a famous joke by comedians. It goes, Mrs. Lincoln, other than
Mary Todd.
otherwise, how was this show? Because they went to a play
Yeah.
when he got shot.
Right.
So otherwise, how'd you
My
like the show?
American cousin.
Yeah, by Mark Twain.
Because you told me that. You
Yeah.
remembered that.
Yeah, and then people, and when comedians tell that joke, and people go, "Ooh, go what? Too soon?
Yeah.
Too soon."
because
So
I was a
whenever,
tough mom,
what it is,
they
but
called
everyone.
me Osama bin Mama.
Okay, well that's all right.
And I just didn't have the beard.
I told you we'd do a long show today. It didn't really matter.
We really have
It
done
didn't
a
really
long
matter.
show. We probably need to let Frankie go home.
Oh, Frankie, you have a good time. You always, hey man, you have a lovely family. I love the pictures of them. Your wife is very fortunate. You seem to be a very square deal guy with that stuff.
Yes, and thank you for
Yeah.
Delivering all the paperwork that I needed back today.
Yep,
I
and thank you
appreciate
for
that.
being such a sober
And,
individual. On the show.
and a very good sport.
Yes.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, yeah. And listen, folks, if you really want to help us out, once again, I'm going to say become a subscriber to the show.
Subscriber, and then make sure you go see Jim at the Catch.
Yeah, come to Catch.
Come to the Catch
and
in
listen
Key
up.
Largo.
Listen up. We will do postings on, eventually, we will have our schedule up on my website, Keys Bartender, on where our future shows are going to be. And we're going to try to incorporate a live audience in it. And somewhat, if for you people that might be interested, we will incorporate a audience that was formerly live. That would be interesting, since you're such an Ed Gein fan.
Ed Gein. Well, I'm not a fan. He was weird, and he. Had,
I know, it sounded like
I
you're
think
an
he
Ed
had
Gein fan.
Munchausen's by proxy or something. Like he was weird.
Oh my God, that was so far not Munchausen. That was a was psychopathy.
You think it was?
Oh my
Just
God,
complete
you know what I mean? Making furniture out of people.
That's because he was obsessed with his dead mother, and he kept her in his house.
But that's not Munchausen by proxy.
It's not.
No. That's when you get you
was
get your
always
child
treating him
sick. You make your child sick because of that. But
No.
this one,
By proxy.
by proxy, is when you're elevating your expectations
Right.
to the
'Cause she
from the misery or perceived misery of a loved one.
Huh.
So that's
Not there.
psychopathy. This is way up there.
Well-
Munchausen by proxy. Remember in Sixth Sense,
Yes.
the mother that
killed her daughter.
her
by
daughter
putting,
that was poisoning her. That
with
was poisoning her.
antifreeze.
That's
Antifreeze.
Munchausen by proxy. That's
Okay.
which has a proxy. Ed Gein was, I'm going to make a suit out of you and make furniture and stuff like that and dance around in a suit made of your skin.
Yeah, and like make
That's a different level.
lampshades.
Lampshades and skeleton lamps and all that stuff. That's a different level.
That's so crazy.
I know. And it's supposedly so overpowering that when you run up against someone of that nature, you can't deal with it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't deal with it. You're powerless. I mean, the strongest people could be powerless. The most powerful people could be powerless against someone that is so divorced from the behavioral norms of regular humans, where you don't make people suffer and you don't kill them and you don't rejoice in their suffering and things like that. That's the thing that gets them. So you got to be aware of that stuff. When you run into them, when you're in that active shooter situation where people don't care, you got to go, you know what? Shut down that normal thinking yourself and go and attack.
See, Mom, you could have been a lampshade somewhere in the middle of Kansas.
The fight, go into the fight thing. Don't go and hide. Go and fight. Don't be a victim. I know that's my public service message for today. It's Keys Bartender. Don't be a victim.
Don't be a victim. Have a good night, everybody.
Don't be in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Key Largo Chainsaw Massacre.
And don't forget to subscribe.
I saw a guy the other day. He was trying to start a chainsaw with the chainsaw part under his crotch. Yeah. He had it reversed around.
Well, that's just thinning the herd.
Well, thinning the potential of the herd, because I don't know if that would have killed him exactly, but it would definitely destroy his possibility of him ever becoming a father. This is Jim the Keys Bartender. Thank you everyone for listening. Goodbye.